Alright, guys, you better buckle up. Get fucking strapped in for this one, man. It's gonna be a long one. We got a lot to talk about here. But first, I'm not gonna talk about Tophiachu first. The very first thing I'm gonna mention, something I've been wanting to mention for a very long time, and I have a couple times, but not as much as I'd like to. The thing I'd like to mention, the Novine universe on YouTube. Do you guys know how many subscribers this dude has? Do you know how many subscribers he has compared to me? This man, Nova Online, the PDF diaper wearing furry weirdo, is beating me in subscribers. How the hell is he beating me in subscribers, man? We gotta change something. We gotta make something happen. Alright? Last I checked, he's at about 7,000 subscribers. I'll throw the picture up here on screen. I can't see it right now. But we're just below 2,000. We gotta get them numbers up, dude. I'm gonna put that clip in there. I don't even know who the fucking guy is. Let's up them numbers, brother. I just wanted to let y'all, know that. This, I think what I'm gonna call it, the Novine War. I've mentioned the Novine War before, but this is the new Novine War. It is Uncle Drew 02 versus the Novine universe. Who's gonna make it to 10K first? We shall see. God, I hope Nova don't make it to 10K. Hopefully he's not there already. I don't even know. I'm blind right now talking to you about this. But that's all I wanted to say. Let's beat this PDF diaper wearing kid lover. Let's just beat him out in subscribers. Let's beat him in every way that you can beat somebody. And subscribers in Minecraft, of course. With that being said, let's get into the video. So this one may sound a little different partway through. I think this is a really long one, so I'm splitting this up into days. I may not, usually I complete all my videos within one sitting, almost. The speaking aspect of it, at least. This one, I think it's gonna stretch a while. I'm hoping this video's around 30 minutes long. We'll see. We got a lot of content to cover, so let's get into it. So I'm sure you all know by now, but Tophiachu has been really, really busy. There's been all kinds of things going on. To start, I mean, the biggest thing, she got kicked out of the homeless shelter. She's not living in the homeless shelter anymore. You probably already also know this. The casino. As the same day she's getting kicked out of the damn homeless shelter, she's going to the casino. That's what this picture is. That's why it's been on screen the whole video. With the Reddit logo in the corner for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot to cover here, so I guess let's just start from the beginning. I'm going to be using a lot of Hat's videos off of YouTube, so check out Hat. Usually I just look up Hat Tophiachu, it'll come right up. If I look up Hat, it does not come up. But yeah, shout out to that fella. Let's get into this, boys. I'm going to read all of these in the Toph voice if I can. I have an emergency. Can anybody help me out and send money to my PayPal? I'd appreciate it. I know what the trolls are going to say, but I need a safe shelter for the night. My Cash App is down. My PayPal link is in the beaconed link. I think she meant second. I don't know. I'm getting cut off. And for those asking, no, I'm not okay. I keep being put in danger. I'll have to sleep outside in a tent if I do not get help. I can't explain the whole situation because it's personal, and I'd like to not give my personal business out here for my safety. So I didn't give a very much of a explanation before I started reading those off. I do apologize for that. Basically, that first post was the first one of her saying basically she's been kicked out of the homeless shelter. She needed something immediately, an emergency place to stay, home for the night type shit. She's mentioning she might have to sleep in a tent for the night. I don't even think she had a tent. I think later on in the video you'll probably see that she literally doesn't have a tent and said that she didn't have anywhere to get a tent either. I don't know. I think part of it was a delusion, but there's a lot to it. So the next part is the part where she goes to the casino. I won't make you wait very much for that. But I do want to say part of the reason that she was actually kicked out of this homeless shelter. She says she doesn't want to say the reason. It's personal. She doesn't want to say it for her safety. Dude, you put all of your life out on the internet, just about as bad as Chris Chan. How do you... It's personal for my safety. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like what? Second of all? What was second of all? Secondly was the real actual reason that she got kicked out of the homeless shelter. Now we know part of their rules and regulations, or whatever you might call it, is that you have to be looking for a job and either like getting a job in a program to get a job, or actively be working while you are living at this shelter. And they give you a couple of months. She's been there for about 5 months from what I've heard, if I'm doing the math right and all that. So she's been there for around 5 months. That's about the deadline. I'm wanting to say 6 months is, and she has not tried one single time to get a job. She said everything under the sun for an excuse. She's too traumatized. She was traumatized before she got a job, before the whole incident with her brother, all kinds of shit. And then she said she'd rather die before she gets a job. I covered that in a pretty old video by now. But yeah, she's refusing to get a job, and that's why they kicked her out of this one. That's the main reason. So, you know, of course she couldn't tell the trolls that. Of course, right? She knows what she's going to get for saying certain things, asking for money. She knows people are going to diss her for that. But whatever, let's move on to the casino parts. Y'all are nosy. No, I didn't gamble my money. This girl gave me money to play the casino. She said, "Do you want to go to the casino?" I said, "Sure, but I don't have any money because I wanted to get out." She pulled out money she had to play. I don't understand why y'all are everywhere stalking me to spread false rumors. I'm broke, yet y'all say I'm spending money. Make it make sense. Alright guys, I apologize for the audio in this next clip. It's kind of shit. Most of them are. Sorry.
So I don't know if you're going to hear me because I have my headset on. But let me explain something. I shouldn't have to explain this whole situation, but I'm going to explain it, and I'm going to condense it very, very small because I'm not going to give up details. So anyway, some stuff happened. I was being dropped off at another shelter, and this girl's like, "Hey, you want to stay with me in my motel room so you don't have to stay in the shelter?" She didn't feel it was right for me to stay in the shelter, so she asked me if I could stay with her at the motel room. I was like, sure, you know, because that is very kind of someone to offer. I had been going through a really rough, couple of days that is very horrible considering my situation and what I have to constantly keep going through. So, yeah, I really just wanted to get a good night's sleep.
So there's quite a bit to unpack here, so buckle up, I guess. I already said that once. Pay some attention here, because it's not getting any better throughout the course of this video. It's only getting more, I don't know, chaotic and complicated and bullshit. So basically, this woman met Tophiachu either on the streets or in the homeless shelter, wherever it may be, and she said, "Oh, I feel bad that they're shipping you off to another homeless shelter because you're getting kicked out of this one. Do you want to stay at my hotel room for the night?" And never meeting this person before, not knowing who this person was at all, Tophiachu says, "Oh, sure, I'll live in your hotel room. I'll go spend the night there." I get it. The other alternative was the streets, but this could have been this could have been anybody. This could have been Jeffrey Dahmer type shit, and she's gonna be eaten alive. It would probably take more than one day, but it'd be food for another fucking month or something for that Jeffrey Dahmer person. Fortunately, that didn't happen. But she only stayed the night because she wanted a good night's rest. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Tophi is funny. The choices that she makes and the decisions she makes, I mean, just from the picture alone right here, you can probably tell the decisions she makes is not fucking good at all. But let's move on from that. What do we got next? "This heat is no joke. I'm already getting sick and dehydrated. Y'all think it's funny, my situation. All I have ever done is been to people who deserve it. I just need housing. That all. Everyone else gets it with a job. And yet it was in a violent crime. Me and my mom and my mother was shot, had a health problems, but can't get housing is crazy. Y'all act like you know, but you don't." I don't even know where to begin with this. It's really zoomed in, and it is almost not an actual, legible sentence to be read. There's a lot of shit. was in a violent crime. Me and my mom and my mother was shot. I think she means brother, but the way she's making this all seem, it's seeming like fucked in the head. It's seeming like she got shot or everything else. I doubt that was intentional. I really doubt she intentionally worded it or like spelled it like this so people think something differently. But I think she can try a little better with the topic at hand, you know? And I almost guarantee this was posted because you might be able to tell a lot of these videos where you'll hear these weird people talking in the background and there's no images, it's not a video of her. Those are videos of her talking in the homeless shelter where you're not supposed to have phones. She, from what I know, she's sneaking her phone into these different places and is telling people, oh, well, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. And then she's posting things like this where I'm guessing that's why it's all fucked up and she can barely type any words correctly. It's because she's trying to hide her phone like she's in middle school or some shit. I don't know. Let's move on. There wasn't much here that y'all don't already know. So, yeah. I got a video for the next one.
So, the girl that took me to the casino, she was around gambling. So, she gambled most of her money because she gave me 80. And then she said, she was like, oh, girl, we spent 400. She said we gambled 400. We didn't win really nothing. Well, I didn't win anything, and neither did she. But she said, I gambled most of my money because she's going into a program for a year that'll help her get housing. So, yeah, that's why she wasn't in the photo, because she was walking around gambling. And that's the reason why I'm not gonna, like, film somebody without their knowledge and put them on my platform, considering the fact that she was somewhere's gambling. We took a lift back because we had to meet someone else who was staying with us because he has cancer and they couldn't find him a place to stay. There was a whole issue with that too. There was a caseworker on the Reddit that had already explained everything that I'm trying to explain to you. It is very hard to get housing when places want 2 to 3 times the rent. You are not going to make that working anywhere, even if you get a job. And to say that I'm making an excuse to get a job, no, I'm not. I got paid $2,400 to do an ad for Temu. I'm having a hard time getting that payment. I cannot get that payment. Once I get that payment, I can work on getting a car. That's the thing. I can only slowly work on getting things. Right now, I'm slowly trying to work on getting housing, which is very hard to get housing. There are other people getting housing before me that have no jobs, nothing, but I'm a victim of a crime. I deserve to be in a house and be safe, but I'm being put in danger constantly. People have to stop acting like they know solutions that don't work. It does not work. I am telling you, what you suggest does not work. I literally know a couple people, considering that I've met a couple people at the shelter that are working and still can't afford a place to live. That's not logical, especially with murder cookie. Sorry, that's what someone called it at the shelter. It is high in crime here in Albuquerque, and it is a very dangerous city to live in. And yet people want to drive around, think everything's a joke, laugh, and be funny and be like, I have a bed, I have a house, I have this, I have that. There are children out in the streets, there are children out in this heat that have no place to live, and you think that being homeless is just some sort of joke because someone is lazy. That's not how it works. I'm just trying to get the resources to get a place. I'm not trying to have my First Amendment rights taken away by being told if I take something, then I can't. You know, I want freedom, and I'm tired of having stipulations with things. So, I want to address something somebody said. Someone said, your intention shouldn't be gambling. What did I literally say? I literally said that she offered to go to the casino. I said sure, because I wanted to get out. I wanted to go out. Did I say I wanted to go gamble? Where were my intentions? And to literally say that I still gambled the money, of course, because that's what she gave it to me for. I was expecting for them, because they did say when I go back to the place that they would help me find a place, but they were too busy and so stressed. They were there to help the people that were there. They're not there to help me find a place. They said, well, there's nothing really much we can provide for you. That was that. I can't expect some place that is not for that to help me, because I was sent there under the pretenses of help.
Okay, so it's the next day. Sorry if I sound different. There's so much to, like, she just rambles on and on and on, and I think this isn't even the worst of it. It's getting worse as the video goes on. I said that once. I mean, the rambling is getting worse. She goes everywhere from one subject to the next, to the next, to the next. She's talking about this random woman she met, said, hey, let's go to the casino. And because Tophiachu wanted to go out, she said, sure, let's go. But she's saying her intention was not to go to the casino. Her intention was to go out. But she went to the casino. It don't matter what your intention was. You left and took extra money you could have spent on anything else to the casino immediately after begging for help. Begging not just for help, specifically begging for money. There's the beep. Specifically begging for money. Now she's saying, oh, this woman, this girl, this person is going into a finding like a housing service. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. She's going into some kind of program where she is going to get housing over the course of 1 year. Therefore, she wanted to blow all of her money gambling. Now, I've not heard anyone else say this before, so I might be the first one saying this, but who else believes that this girl that she supposedly met was actually just her? Who believes that? Who? This girl, she never mentions a name or literally any details at all other than a girl and spent so much money. You know, spending this much money going into a housing program. Well, let me tell you something. The reason Tophiachu posted that, supposedly the reason she posted, please give me money in my PayPal, was because she was getting kicked out of the homeless shelter. Well, she wasn't really getting kicked out. She was being transferred to a different shelter. I don't know if it's past or not. It may be in the future. She was saying, don't be calling her a shelter hopper. I guess that's a really bad thing to be a shelter hopper. I don't know why. I'm not in the homeless scene. But my running theory is that the reason she's making up this whole story about this girl and everything, there is no girl. I think that she genuinely, seeing that she was going to go into a program to get housing over the course of a year, I think Tophiachu is the one going into this program. And for whatever reason, she decided, hey, before I go into this program, I'm going to spend all my money gambling. Like one last thing. You know what I mean? That's my running theory. I haven't heard anyone else say that. That's something that I came up with. If there's other people saying it, maybe, I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But I haven't seen anyone saying that. The most I've seen people say is that girl wasn't real. But I haven't heard anyone go deep enough into it to say this is actually Tophiachu. She's saying this girl, but she's talking about herself. And then she goes on about some guy having cancer that was staying with them as well. I really don't know. That's what I was talking about, how she just goes all over the place. She don't give you no context or explanation. Just said, there's a guy with cancer, and he has a dog, and they couldn't find him housing, so he stayed with them. I don't know. I really have no clue what to say about this. Like, it's getting worse as the video goes on. I know I've said this a dozen times now, but whatever. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you think my theory's right, if you think it's batshit insane. Let me know. I'm willing to hear it. I'm wanting to hear it. So, yeah, let's move on.
You guys don't understand what shelters are, because a caseworker that works here literally told you that shelters are not necessarily for you to get a job and get back on your feet. Not necessarily. The one that I was at was for navigation, which means navigating through housing, whether it be getting on disability or whether it be whatever plethora of situation that you have. It was not necessarily for getting a job. Some people lack the common sense of what certain shelters are for, and it is also for housing people that can't necessarily afford housing. That is something that people don't have the common sense for. Like, when rich people are born of money, they're rich. When people are born of poverty, they stay poor. That's how the system is built. Like, the system is built poorly. So when explaining things, no, shelters are not necessarily for people to get a job. Shelters are to house people until they work on their housing or move forward, because here, as far as many places, a lot of shelters require 3 to 4 times the rent. And if you don't have 3 to 4 times the rent, then you can't rent. And that is what's hurting a lot of people from getting places. Again, the reason why they charge 3 to 4 times the rent is they really want to make sure people can pay the rent. But it hurts people who follow under low income when it comes to making the minimum wage and living off of minimum wage. That is something that doesn't help people. And frankly, people need to do more research before speaking, because necessarily it's not only just for jobs, it's for people to do a plethora of other things, not just look for a job.
So in this one, she talks about a whole lot about the different shelter drama. Now, she's saying a little bit that kind of ties in with my theory. She's saying some shelters are for finding jobs, some shelters are for finding homes, some shelters are just for navigation, so I'm guessing getting out of the situation you're in, whatever that may be. Well, I mean, she knows all this all of a sudden about these shelters the same day or, next day after she has to supposedly switch shelters. Did they switch her from a shelter where she needed to get a job to one that she is in some program to get a house? Because everyone's saying the reason she got kicked out of the first one is because she refused to get a job. That was one of those programs where you have to get a job or else they don't let you stay there. So, I don't know, it all ties in again. But I wanted to mention, she said some people are dumb because they don't know about these shelters and how the different shelters work. I don't think anybody's dumb if they don't know how homeless shelters work. Not many people are in homeless shelters. The best thing I can think for the average person getting close to a homeless shelter is like working at the damn soup kitchen. You know what I mean? The average person isn't in and out of homeless shelters. Homeless people are, and I know there is a good population of the at least the US that is homeless, but I feel like that's still not an average. The average person has no idea about homeless shelters. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just wanted to mention that. Another thing I wanted to mention, she's talking all this and that about you need 3 to 4 times the amount of rent to be renting these places. I understand that. That's what most places do. A lot of them, double, 3 times, 4 times. That seems a little high, but I don't live in Albuquerque. So, I get that. I get that could be an issue for someone that doesn't make very much money. Now, tell me this. When Brother Chu is alive, and all 3 of the Chu family residents that aren't batshit insane were living together, why did they not just... Okay, Brother Chu gets a job, Tophiachu gets a job. I'm sure Mama Chu is getting some kind of, help in some way, shape, or form. I can't imagine that this elderly woman, mother of 2 children, and having a completely batshit insane husband, I can't imagine she's not getting any money from the government. I could be wrong, but you're telling me that they couldn't combine all that together and have 3 times, 4 times the rent for some shitty apartment? It's because they didn't try. They never tried. They never gave a fuck. If they would have really, she's saying all this, oh, people that are born poor stay poor, people that are born rich stay rich. In a sense, yeah, but that's coming from the woman that has not had a job since Dunkin' Donuts or whatever the fuck it was when she was a teenager. How? It can't get more rich than that. Anyway, there's a little bit more, so let's check that out, and then we'll get on to the second half of the video, I guess. I don't know if I call it a half. I don't know how far we are in right now, but let's move on. Okay, so as it turns out, the end of that video was literally her going on a rant that she heard a white person say the N-word. And she was saying, it was literally just a rant, saying all this stuff, cultural appropriation, and white people shouldn't have dreads, and this and that. I don't want to even hear that bullshit. Tophi is the most racial involving person I can even think of. I don't know anybody that involves race into every situation more than her. Like, every situation has something to do with race. I think she goes on about it later, completely different topic, but it was comedic to me in the future. So, let's get on to the second half of this video. Enough is enough. I'm crowdfunding for a lawyer, and I'm going to start suing the hell out of these people. I don't care if the conservative, I don't care if you're part of a pro-Palestine movement. These false allegations you guys have been spreading on me for the past few years. I've had enough of you guys lying and said I broke bones when I didn't. You guys lied and said that I beat up women when I never did. One person claimed that my mother sexually assaulted me, and another says all of my children are afraid of me. I have lost my brand deals. I have lost connects in the music industry because of this shit. Enough is enough. Help me crowdfund for this lawyer. Okay, so for most of this, I actually have no clue what she's talking about. I don't know anything about, it's probably all rage bait, but I don't know anything about her fighting a woman, her breaking bones. There was another one that she said in there. Losing connections to the music industry and brand deals. The brand deals thing is the only thing I can think that was real, and that's just one of those things. You tell these brands how shitty of a person they are, and they stop giving these people brand deals. It's gonna happen for anyone that does shitty things on the internet, and it's like true, and there's proof of it. So that's the only one I can see that she can actually complain about. Other than that, I have no clue why she's so mad. The only thing I do know a little bit about is the Palestine, whatever. I don't know or care anything about that in the sense that I'm not getting into anything politics-wise. All I know is that people constantly in the comments or whatever it be tell Tophiachu she's against Palestine, she's not pro-Palestine or whichever. Dude, I literally stay out of this so much that I don't know anything about it. I shouldn't even be saying what I'm saying. Basically, people are just rage baiting her, telling her that she supports the terrorist people side, whichever side that may be. I'm gonna shut up. Don't look into it, please. If you're one of those people going down there in the comments saying, oh, he said this, he said that, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. So, whatever. I just know people troll Tophiachu about Palestine bullshit, and it's funny. It's some funny shit. She be raging about that because that matters more to her than her fucking brother does, who can see her and view her as politically correct. That's all she cares about. Let's move on.
Just like that guy, I'm working on getting a lawyer too, because there is no reason why I'm homeless and people are making videos about me that are spreading lies that are making money while I'm homeless. And also I lost out on an agency where I could have made millions. So if you want me to lose out on money, then I'm going to sue you for that money, because spreading false rumors is not cool. I'm not a predator. My brother is not a predator just because his ex lied. I don't understand why his ex won't come online like she did me in a phone call and told me the reason why she lied about my brother was because she wanted him to look bad. Okay, well, are you going to tell people you lied? Because I really wish that I would have that I would have recorded the conversation, but I didn't know how to record conversations on iPhone, so I went and clicked screen record instead of record phone call. And what I really don't like is it says phone call recording, and they can hear it as well, which is not discreet and very unsafe unless you do it beforehand, before the call starts. But what really gets me is that people don't know what my situation is, or they assume things. I could have made millions of dollars with this talent agency that wanted to lie, back out after someone from their company wanted to work with me and add me to the agency, and then say that my content doesn't fit what they're looking for, which is a big excuse because people was harassing them, and then saying they never wanted to work with me in the story. That is very unprofessional. How do I get more views than you and you're a talent agency and you get no views on your pages? That's crazy. If you go to this TikTok talent agency's pages, they only get 10 likes and little views, especially on TikTok. And for being a talent agency, you would clearly be pulling views. I pull more views than you without the talent agency, and I could probably get more brand deals from companies than you would ever help me get. And this lady from the company reached out to me. I did my research. I looked up. Yes, she is on their website. And then they tried to back out and say they never was going to work with me, which is a lie. I can sue you for that too, you know, because you shouldn't have went on the internet and lied and said you was never going to work with me when someone from your company reached out, and then try to say that my content doesn't fit what you're looking for when you saw it in the first place. Let's not play stupid, because my thing is like, when you're searching for talent, right, especially for someone on social media, you had to have seen their social media prior. That's why you reach out to them, because you like what you are seeing. So that excuse is played out, because you can't sit here and say that you don't like what you're seeing, because of the simple fact is that it doesn't fit what you're looking for when you was looking for that in the first place. Otherwise, you wouldn't have reached out to me. You wasted my time. You made me try to sign up, and then I couldn't sign up for my account, because then you are now telling me that you no longer want to work with me. That makes absolutely no bit of sense whatsoever. If it was a white creator, you would still continue to keep working with them. That's all I'm saying. And don't say this isn't about race.
Okay, she is just rambling on and on about this brand deal that she was going to get. This agent, this like company that was going to sponsor her, and she was going to get millions of dollars, apparently. How, like, she knows she's a lol cow. She knows that people call her a lol cow. She knows what people do to these lol cows, as in making all kinds of fake shit and having them fall for it. So why does she instantly believe that this talent agency or whatever it is, like, what talent does she actually truly believe that she has? Not even, I don't know, you don't even have to have a talent. You can just get popular. She is not popular for any reason that a talent agency would want her. I don't know if y'all can hear the sirens. Sorry, there's an ambulance passing my house. Anyway, what was I even going on about? She's apparently losing out in millions and millions of dollars because of these trolls, and that's why she wanted to get a lawyer. That's the main reason. So, she's clearly being trolled here. I can't imagine in a million years any company would want to hire her for anything, even if it was some shitty, you know, page getting 10 likes. But everything's just making me lean towards it was a troll, and she's crashing out about it, basically, saying she's gonna get a lawyer and everything else. She'll talk more about lawyers here in a second, so let's get to that.
So let's talk about it since someone wants to say it. So since you don't know, no, you don't need money for a lawyer. There are pro bono lawyers. If you don't know what pro bono is, the lawyer doesn't get paid unless he wins. So if he doesn't win my case, then he doesn't get paid. That's what a pro bono lawyer is. And I could literally find a lawyer for no money. I literally was advised by the lady that's been helping me to look for a social media lawyer, because I told her I don't have money, and I said I couldn't find pro bono lawyers that do that. But she said, yeah, she found some, and they will help my case for like no money if you don't have like any money. So basically, that's what a pro bono lawyer is. FYI, since you don't know, because clearly you can do research, because that's what a lot of people use when they don't have money for a lawyer. So thanks. Have a good day.
So someone's told her about what a pro bono lawyer is. To be honest, I didn't know the term, but I did know what kind of a lawyer, like, I didn't know that was the name for it, but I've heard of these lawyers before. A lot of the times you'll see them in, like, you know what? I wanted to say that Kiwi Tapes and Smokey MC have both gotten sponsors from like outside sponsorship things from companies like this. The main ones I've seen are like car accidents or accidents at work or like collision, shit like that. Where, you know, if you're in a car accident or the last year you got injured, fucking call us, and if you don't win, you don't pay us. Simple as that. Well, that's not something you hear of a lot with social media or anything like that. Most of the time these social media, you know, disputes are just like laughed at and thrown to the side. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine it'd be very easy to find a pro bono lawyer that's willing to do anything for you. Not to mention, if they did about 2 seconds of research, they'd find out all the shitty things about Tophia. As soon as they found out the name Tophiachu, that Chu on the end ruins her. Even looking up her full name, everyone knows her full name. She's just, I can't imagine any lawyer. The lawyers that she's going to get are going to be worse than the damn government-appointed lawyers. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. She'll need to find Better Call Saul to do that shit, because she ain't getting any farther with anyone else. But let's move on.
So I want to address something that I saw. So being homeless does not equate to being lazy. There are people at the homeless shelter I was staying at that had jobs and was still homeless. Being homeless is a social thing. It's a social economical thing. It has nothing to do with being lazy, because you can work hard, you can work really, really hard and still not have enough money to live. I know, because I know a lot of people that I met that wasn't making enough to be able to afford a place to live, because a lot of places want 3 to 4 times the rent. So yeah, that's insane to insinuate that being homeless equals being lazy.
I get where you're coming from. I do. Not every homeless person is lazy. A lot of people were put in bad situations and did actually try. But the big difference there is you cannot say, I was put in this horrible situation and I tried my hardest and it simply was not enough. I could not do as much as I needed to. She did damn near the minimum to improve her situation ever. She has done the minimum since day one to improve her situation. I don't think she's ever improved anything. Maybe temporarily by buying little knickknacks at the mall, but she's never improved anything. I don't know. She is lazy, and that's the reason she's homeless. If she tried, she would not be homeless. It's as simple as that. If she actually put effort into her life, there's a lot of things that wouldn't have happened. I don't want to say that the things that happened to Brother Chu wouldn't have happened, but it would have been a lot less likely to happen if they had some sort of a home rather than a car. But let's move on.
Mind you, I'm not going to go back and forth with people who are underage. There's literal 10-year-olds. These parents need to be monitoring their kids. If I see that you're a minor or you're underage, you immediately get blocked, because I'm not arguing with you. Your parents should have raised you better, because you're living off of your parents' money to be able to have a phone and have bills. When you grow up, you're going to realize just how hard it is. Nobody taught you anything. To say that people don't want to work hard is crazy. No matter how hard you work, you will never get anywhere you need to be in life when it comes to financially stable. That's not how it works. Society tells you work harder, work harder, work harder, work harder. You're working yourself to death, but you're not making a living wage. And it sucks. You shouldn't have to work yourself to death just to live. That makes no sense. And then also someone said that, oh, people have trauma and they work. That's them. You can't tell someone that just freshly went through something just this year to go to work and then break down at work and then not be able to work. Yeah, people work through their trauma because they went to therapy. I cannot go to therapy yet because I have to focus on getting a place to live. I can't, and when something's always happening to me, especially because I was put in danger by a shelter that literally knew, because we told them that this place couldn't help, and I almost had to sleep in the streets by myself with nobody. Especially with the threats I'm getting, that is very dangerous and very scary, because I didn't have no tent or I had no any way to camp. That's crazy. I'm always being put in survival mode, having to find where to go, and people making jokes like, oh, you're hopping from one shelter to another. Shelter hopping is not funny, and I'm not hopping from one shelter to another. That's not how things work. You think, let me tell you something. You think using social media to get me pushed out of places is gonna work, when literally it's defamation. It's not defamation, it's discrimination, and they can get sued. I don't care what people say, but denying someone help off of being biased, and you can't deny someone help no matter what the circumstances is. I mean, in some instances, maybe I can see that.
The only thing I want to cover in this one, her saying that these parents should be teaching their kids better and raising their kids better, She's one to talk, dude. Her two parents, Papachu and Mamachu, a schizophrenic, literally a crazy person that's crazy as fuck. And the other one was trying to convince Tophiachu not to get a job. Didn't want her to get a job. Wanted her to stay on TikTok so she could hang out with her in the car. And, like, her mom was giving her the worst advice, and she's just taking it. Instead of her mom saying, oh, go get a job and support us, because I can't work. Take care of your elderly mom who can't work. No, she's like, stay in the car and let's just hang out all day while your brother breaks his spine to make us barely enough to eat. I don't know. That's the only thing I want to mention. It's getting good, though, so stay tuned.
You can't be causing someone to be homeless and then laugh at it like you do with Daniel Larson. That is very hurtful, and I don't know what's funny about situations like this, because, you know, I'm being the bigger person when people don't realize that I have connections to find you and do the same things to you. Like, the more I get people to call and harass the place you're living at, the more you could probably be exited. I could have people write reviews. Like, it's not like I can go the same route you want to go, but I'm being very... Also, I do want to say that I did not get kicked out of the casino. So I don't know why someone reshared my video. Thank you for resharing, because you're pushing me out there. And then literally saying that I got kicked out of the homeless shelter and the casino. I didn't get kicked out of the casino. We left because we had to meet with somebody who was going to stay with us in the room because he was headed over there. So I told her, and we were headed over there. I can go back to the casino.
Okay, so her saying she's going to harass people is kind of crazy. She's going to do the same thing that they do to her. Does she not realize that it is like thousands of different people that are messing with her all the time? It's not consecutively the same people. It's not always the same people. The worst things that have been done to her are probably all different people, to be honest. And like, what does she have all these people that are going to harass other people for her? She don't have no army of people. She's straight talking out her ass. I don't know what made her mad, what made her talking about this, or start talking about it, but I don't know. I don't understand. But don't forget, she didn't get kicked out of the casino. Only the homeless shelter. Okay, guys, we're making it through. We are, as of right now, editing this 40 minutes in. Let's keep it going. We got a little bit more. This is where it gets heated, though. The GoFundMe going down, everything else, it's starting right now.
She got kicked out? Streechu arc starting?
Don't you think that it's weird behavior that in the last story that they literally posted that is a weird behavior to be celebrating someone sleeping in the streets? Isn't that weird? You've got a job and you've got a life, but you're so happy about that. Mind you, thank you, because I got a much better place. I'm in a much better safe place. I'm not going to say where, because people will be out there looking to actively dox me. So thank you. I'm not in the streets. I'm in a nice, cooled environment. Thank you. You know, sometimes things work out for the better. I just love it. So thank you. Like, people think they're keeping me down, but that didn't stop me. I just went and got better help, so thanks.
So, under any normal circumstances, I think it would be shitty and weird to be celebrating when someone's sleeping on the streets. But when it's somebody in the situation of Tophiachu, where basically something horrible happened to a family member of hers, obviously her brother, and she has hardly any remorse, and all the remorse that is given is forced, or whatever, just an act, bullshit, basically. So that's probably the main reason I'm gonna say it's not that big a deal. You know, jump up and down, do whatever you want. People are not gonna feel bad for you when you're on the streets with the way that you act. Bit of an interjection here. I meant to say she is in what I believe to be her other homeless shelter. Basically, I think this is the program that's getting her a home, is the place that she's in, that she's saying, oh, I'm air conditioned, I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, I forgot to add that in, so yeah. It's simply like, it's as simple as that. Now, this next part, she's going to get into something completely off topic, completely different. I'm not going to show much of it, but basically, she thinks a third world country is an insult. She thinks someone referring to a country as third world, which is like, I'm pretty sure that's just the rating system. That's how they rate, like, I don't know if it's the wealthiness of a country or if it's like the average wealth of the citizens in the country. I'm not sure. But basically, it's not an insult. Tophiachu's fucking dumb. Let's see it.
Also, girl, you saying that you were born of a third world country, let's not lie to people. Okay, well, maybe you might have been, and saying that being born of a broken system does not keep you poor. First of all, you would not refer to your country as a third world country. And let me tell you why, because there was a whole argument on Karen's live about her calling a place a third world country. So why are you referring to your country as a third world country? Because that in of itself is an insult. Like, why would you talk about your country like that? Saying, I was born of a third world country, I ate poor. You know, that's how most rich people lived, actually. There are a few rich people that were poor. That doesn't mean just because you made it, everyone's gonna make it. Let's not give misinformation, because not everyone makes it out of being poor. Okay, thank you. You just literally shitted on your country and called it a third world country. You know, there was a whole argument about not calling countries that, but okay. And the way you guys talk is like, oh, well, my mom came here with $200. Like, if we're all not immigrants in some way, shape, or form. Like, my mom was the only immigrant that came here and did. Yeah, well, you know, so was Trump's family. Trump's family migrated here. Trump's family were immigrants. What is that? Like, you could say you're from a third world country, but Elon Musk is from South Africa. And look at him. And to say, right, see, my mom is so you're acting like your family is the only immigrants that traveled here and went through a hard life. You're acting like the only people who are allotted a hard life and are able to get out of it is because you got out of it. So you're the only person that, like, you're not the only person, and that you have this mindset of everyone needs to get out of it. Can we stop? Can we stop, please? Can we not do that to people? Because there are lots of people. If you drive down Central, if you look on YouTube, Albuquerque has a horrible rate when it comes to homeless people. And no, they did not get out of it. And most of their family were from countries like yours. Yes. And they did migrate here. Yes. There's a guy who literally can't get a place with his dog and has cancer. Can we not? I'm not the only person who is homeless and who was born of poverty and who was born poor. There are a lot of people in the streets who didn't have the luxury or the opportunity. So for you to have that mindset is horrible, because then everyone else has that mindset about homeless people, which doesn't give them any help.
Alright guys, she's officially lost her shit. This is the closest I've ever seen her sounding like Tophiachu. This is like Tophiachu moment right here. I don't know what's going on with her. You can tell by this clip. If you listen to just the previous clip I played, start to finish, she is losing her shit. She is just rambling on, talking about absolutely nothing. Her points don't lead into each other. She's talking about the overall topic of homelessness, but nothing makes sense. She's just going on and on. It sounds like some crazy person shit. And I'm sorry if you can hear the crickets outside my damn window right now, but she is losing it. I don't even know what else to say about this. She's actually lost it.
And here's one thing I want to talk about. Literally sitting there typing that Street Chew has the potential to be a good arc. Why are you going to try to film someone that's in the streets? I'm not in the streets anymore, so that's not going to be a good arc, because, yeah, I'm in a safe place. And until I get a place. So, yeah, skip Street Chew. You know what's going to be a great arc is when I buy my house and people going to be mad. Because, yeah, when I buy my house, you can't cause me to be thrown out of anywhere, because I'll own the house. So yeah, House Chew is a great arc. Like, to literally you'd be like, well, Street Chew has the potential to be a great arc. You want to be in the streets and then I'll make that an arc? Like, continue and you'll know what happens. I hate this turn the other cheek stuff, because I'll do to you what you did to me. That's a fact, right? I could do to you what you did to me, and then your streets will be a great arc. Okay? And trust me, you being a hateful person, you will have nobody to help you when you're in the streets. This is not a joke. A man or a woman was just shot, sitting in her car next to her child at a gas station here. The crime is so high, people are getting shot at. There's nothing funny about someone being in the streets, right? It is dangerous. Why do you think this is funny? Do you think this is just some joke? I hope people go after y'all on the Reddit and find out who you are and report your jobs for that. I'm not going to do that, but I hope someone does. Good luck with that one. You thought that was going to work. It put me in a better place, actually. It's nicer than the the shelter I got kicked out of was. And I didn't even get kicked out of there. They sent me to a program that couldn't help me. But that's okay. I'm gonna go relax and probably get ready, get something to eat, start my day. Well, you're trying to figure out and scramble what shelter I'm at so you can cause me to get kicked out and be put back in the streets. You think that's bad? All I have to do is find some people where you live and have them bother you like you bothered me and never leave you alone. So, you know, I'm tired of being the nice guy. I'm not going to be that anymore. I mean, continue. You'll know what happened. And mind you, before I go, relax. That's not a threat, so don't take it as a threat because you'll be alive, unlike my brother, sadly, who is not here because of all of this BS. But at least you won't end up like my brother because I'm not like you. But continue. I mean, people think they can say whatever they want.
She's officially lost it. I'm gonna do to you what you guys did to me, and then we'll see who's on the streets. Then we'll see who has the streets arc. What? What is she implying here? Because I know what I think she's implying. She's always saying, oh, the trolls are the reason that happened to my brother. It was the trolls. It was these people on the internet bothering me. That's what happened to my brother. She's gonna do to them what they did to her. Put it together. What is she gonna do? What is she threatening to do right now? She said she's done playing nice. Also, she's throwing in random stories about the people getting shot in public and all this. She cannot stay on one track at all. It's like this is the start. It's like when you first notice your grandma's forgetting things and she's gonna get dementia. This is the start. Just from seeing these videos, I'm about certain that Tophia is either going to need to be put on some kind of medicine, or she is going to go down the same exact route as her father. We'll all see in time, I guess. So here it is. You've waited long enough. Officially, this is when the GoFundMe got taken down. Let's check out her reaction. Let's see what she had to say about it. And let's end this video, the longest video that I've ever made in my entire YouTube career, almost breaching an hour. We'll see what we can do. GoFundMe is refunding everybody. I hope y'all are happy now. My brother won't be buried. Now I'll have to figure out a way to raise the money. I never spent a cent of that money. All I wanted was for my brother to be buried. Was it too hard to ask for compassion from others to care? But that is too much to ask from people. Not even people in the streets pocket watch this much. Y'all be so weird. So there you have it for the GoFundMe arc. That was it. That's all there is. No, I'm just kidding. But this next one does require a little bit of context. So I couldn't figure out at first who the hell she was talking to in this. But these are DMs from literally a random person on Instagram, or whatever this may be, that is just dissing her. Just telling her, basically laying it down solid. But yeah, let's check it out.
I didn't buy junk. You keep insisting. I did not use the GoFundMe to buy junk. Okay, it's not junk, considering the fact that it was a few fucking bucks. Like, I'm so sick and tired of people literally trying to pocket watch me. It is frustrating me. People in the streets don't pocket watch people this much. Can you please just not pocket watch me? Okay, I'm tired of people filming me everywhere I go saying this and that. I did not spend money at the casino, not my own money. That was somebody else's money that I literally spent at the casino because she pulled out money. I told her, hey, look, I don't have any money. I just went to the casino because I wanted to get out. I'm having a rough freaking time. Okay? Obviously, everyone's getting their money back, so that should tell you that I didn't have access to the money that is not spent. GoFundMe is giving everybody's money back. It says all this defamation and lying on me and saying that I spent money that I don't have. I'm just going to have to sue somebody for that money. I'm getting every single cent from the GoFundMe that I got back. Whoever started the rumor about me scamming people is going to get sued. And I'm going to sue my uncle too. I don't care if he's family or not. I'll sue him too.
Shout out to Hat for putting these all in the AI voice, because I was not about to do that. So thanks, brother.
Girl, you been at casinos, at the mall every day, buying all sorts of shit you don't need. Sorry, but that's life. Everybody is struggling. At some point you gotta stop being lazy and actually put some effort in yourself.
I didn't have access to the GoFundMe, you bitch. All you do is be a bitch. Go fuck off, I don't care. I'm done being polite. I would go tell you to die, but I'd be wrong for that, so I'm not gonna say anything extreme.
You can tell me whatever you want, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't change the fact that you're irresponsible, and people been telling you for years at this point to stop spending money on stupid shit.
Blah blah, shut up, bitch. Nah, nag, it's my fucking money. Did you work for it? No? Okay, then shut up. I'll buy whatever the fuck I want for a few bucks and the casino. I didn't spend a dime of my money, weirdo.
Then the consequences of that is your brother not getting buried. Tough shit, lol. Tophia, I truly hope that you realize one day that trying to live off other people isn't the way, especially with your elderly mother.
Who said I was trying to live off people? Shut up, damn you annoying, don't assume shit about me.
Well, you are. You've been living off the money people have donated to you, along with the little money you make from your so-called influencer career.
No, I haven't. It's money I earned. Nobody donated money except months ago, which was in March.
You told me Saturday that people sent you money? Stop trying to guilt-trip people into sending you money, get a job. You're pushing 40.
I never mentioned money, dummy. Learn to read. Plus, people already sent money.
Guys, we made it. We made it to the end of what I would almost consider my first long-form content video. I think anywhere close to an hour, 45 minutes or an hour, would be considered long-form content, in my eyes at least. I don't know. Either way, I didn't know this video was going to be so long, but I want to thank Hat on YouTube one more time, just for compiling all the stories and all the posts and everything that Tophi has done in the last few days or weeks or whatever, compiling it all into different videos so I could easily go through it and make this video for you guys. So yeah, shout out to Hat. Everyone go watch their videos instead of mine. You know what I mean? But what did y'all think of the video? Was it too long? Did anybody make it to the point right now that you are at? If you are hearing this right now, please, I wouldn't normally beg you to do this, but please go in the comments and tell me, hey bro, I made it through this whole video. I just want to know how many people actually listen to the whole video, listen or watch or whatever. Really, I make these videos for people to listen. So I'd like to know how many of you guys actually listened to the video and made it 56 minutes into this damn video. That's what the editor says right now. So yeah, Tophia's been busy. I'm sure there'll be more from this. Hopefully Nova will post, because that's the main reason I spent so much time making this video, is because Nova's MIA. He fell off the face of the planet. So yeah, if Nova or Tophiachu have any updates, I'm gonna be sure to cover them. Now my next video definitely won't be this long, but I'm hoping this comes out Friday. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.